Hi guys, more deep here, aka Ron, and in this video I want to talk about what I do to stay healthy, and specifically how to ward off viruses and disease of all types. The key is our immune systems, and it just makes common sense. If our immune systems are weak and compromised, they simply cannot effectively fight off those invaders. They just can't. If you're a person who gets sick a lot, it's probably because your immune system is weak or compromised. If you're a smoker, if you are obese, if you don't get adequate exercise, sunshine, if you're not eating right, then your immune system is probably weakened or even compromised. And so now, we have this coronavirus right now that's ravaging the world. But take a step back and look at what we're bathed in right now. We're bathed in a system, and primarily in the Western lands, where drugs of all types and medications of all types are promoted and thrown at us. More so, what you see and what we're bathed in are unhealthy foods. There's a fast food restaurant on every corner. McDonald's, Burger King, KFC, Popeyes Chicken, Pizza Hut, Dairy Queen, all of it. And billions of dollars are expended on television, TV ads, and the media to promote these unhealthy foods at us and our children. Also look around you. Many of our young people are obese. Many adults are obese. Why is that? Because we have been conditioned to eat unhealthy, all for the sake of sacrificing our health to enriching the corporations who pump out these unhealthy foods. You see, processed foods are not good for us. Our bodies weren't made for them. For example, what's plentiful on the earth? Water. Many of us don't drink adequate amounts of water. Instead, might be beer, sodas, milkshakes, and so on. Those things are not good for us. In other words, we live in a system that is killing us. You see, people are told to exercise, but that's fine. You should exercise, but if you're not eating right, all the exercise in the world isn't going to help you. I've stopped counting the number of persons who live a life where they exercise, say, every day or 3 days per week. They go to the gym, and they end up getting a heart attack. Why is that? It's because they're not eating right. Their immune systems are weak. Exercise strengthens muscles, yes, but they do very little to build up a strong immune system if you're not feeding your body correctly. So the key to fighting off any virus, including this coronavirus, is eating right. Now let me tell you what you should not eat. And I've covered this in one of my other videos. You want to stay away from sweets, candy, cakes, pies, cookies, sugars, anything with sugar in it. Whether you put sugar in your coffee, the white granular sugar, you don't want to do that. Drinking coffee is fine, but you don't want to put sugar in it. There's something called stevia. You can use that. There are other sweeteners. Putting granular sugar in your tea, not good. Why not try raw honey? That's good as a sweetener. So you want to get off the sugars. Anything that produces glucose, high levels of glucose, that includes sodas. Our kids like sodas and those, whether you get those things, the big gulps, the slushes and things like that are high in sugar content. Those things are not good for you. Fried foods, greasy foods, junk foods, like I mentioned, pizza and all that, fried chicken and fried fish. Get off the pork product. Get off red meat. Uh, Fish and chicken are very good, but bake them or grill them, but do not fry your fish and chicken. I prefer personally salmon. Salmon is very good for you. Baked salmon, oh, it's delicious, and it's healthy, and it's very, very good for you. You want to get into eating plenty of fruits and vegetables. Watermelon is extremely good for you. Eat the seeds. Green apple is good for you. Some citrus isn't good. Lemon and lime are good for you. Oranges, don't get too heavily into those, but they're okay if you eat them in moderation. Grapefruit is also good for you. And the reason why I mentioned be careful with over consuming, say, grapefruit and oranges is because they're acidic. Lime has certain properties. Lemons have certain properties if they're added with other things, such as hibiscus tea. Ginger root is very good. I'm not referring to stuff that you buy pre-processed. I'm talking about the actual ginger root that you peel and you can boil it and make tea. I'll leave a link in this video that will take you to a website that teaches how to prepare hibiscus tea. That's very good for you. Purple carrots, beets are good for you. Celery, spinach, green leafy vegetables, and all these things are good that you can make salads with to go along with your baked chicken or fish. Eat plenty of seeds such as pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, sunflower seeds. Walnuts are good for you, so you want to stock up on plenty of walnuts, and just if you just have an inkling to snack on something, snack on some walnuts. Other food items that are good for you, and I'm not going to be able to cover all of them, but I will list them in the description of this video, so please check out the description for a full list. I'm just going on rote memory here. I don't have any notes in front of me behind the camera, because these are things that I do every day on a constant basis. Other things that you can do as far as supplements, take D3. Vitamin C is extremely good for you. You can buy the vitamin C capsules. The time-released ones are very good. You can find those. Again, vitamin C, D3, zinc is good for you. And again, check the description for a full list. You should also drink plenty of water. And in front of you, what you see here, I'm going to show you how to prepare something that I practice, and I'm going to get to this in a few moments. Just give me just a few more moments here. But drinking water is extremely important, because water is one of the best things that you can intake. You see, the glucose is sugar, and as you know, sugar, many of you should know that sugar is very sticky. And but water is something that you would intake. It helps to keep your innards slippery, where, say, if bad invaders do enter in, they don't have anything to stick to. They just wash right out. But if your immune system, if your system is already clogged up, if your cells are already, say, unhealthy and compromised, then those invaders will find things to stick to. Those bad and unhealthy cells. So it's never too late to start to build up your immune system. If you're obese, your immune system is already compromised, so you will have to lose weight, implying you have to eat right, get off the junk foods, exercise. I mean, really, this involves a lifestyle change. Seriously, folks. And again, step back and look at what's happening. We have all been thrown into a system where unhealthy things are being thrown at us. And these are things that they're not talking about. What's more important in the system in which we live is money. So they'll pump out commercials that show a nice steamy steak or hamburgers and chicken with hot mashed potatoes and gravy, and you want that stuff. Your kids will want it. Like one commercial I saw today was quite funny. The parents, it's like the kids are in charge now in the household because the parents are asking the kids, "What do you want to eat?" When I grew up, that was something we never uttered to our parents. It's whatever my mother prepared. That's what we ate. If you didn't want it, then you just went hungry that day. But now parents are asking kids what they want. And in this particular commercial, one of the kids said, one of the children said, "I want a pizza." Then the young girl in the family said, "I want a bucket of chicken." What is this? The kids are running the household now, and parents go along with it. They just give in so easily, and they contribute to their children leading an unhealthy lifestyle, to where that's all they want. They don't want to eat things that are really good for them because they don't understand at that early age. So the responsibility is upon those of us who are adults and mature, who should know these things. We should be educated enough to know that the things that our children eat are not healthy. And if we eat in that manner, they're going to eat the same thing. They're going to eat in that manner. So it's a lifestyle change as far as what we put into our bodies, but you should always be thinking about, what can I do to boost my immune system? If your immune system is in tip-top condition, what do you do to keep it that way? And really, it's quite common sense stuff. It's eating right and doing those things to boost and strengthen your immune system, because when you do that, you will rarely get sick, if ever. And if invaders do come your way, your body immune system is strong enough to repel those things. Why do you think that many of the elderly are getting sick from coronavirus? It's not only because they have some underlying health condition, that is also true, but many of the elderly, as you get older, you're not as active as you used to be. Your body parts give out, so you can't get out and be as active as you were when you're younger. So over time, their immune systems break down, and they're more vulnerable to those invaders. Now, let me show you something that I do. I practice what is called H2O2 Water Therapy. I also practice fasting. Now, I don't fast every day, obviously, but I do a 5 to 7 day water fast. This is a strict water fast, 2 to 3 times per year. Now, if you've never fasted before, I do not recommend that you start off attempting a 5-day or 7-day water fast on a first go around. Maybe you want to start off very slow with a 24-hour water fast. That's a strict water intake, where you're drinking about a half a gallon every day. And then eventually you work up to, say, a 2-day, that is a 48-hour water fast, then a 3-day, then a 4-day, and then a 5-day. Now, I'm experienced with doing these longer water fasts, but also I practice something called intermittent fasting, which means that I allocate 1 day out of the week where I don't eat at all. It's an all-day water fast. So 6 days out of the week, I eat healthy foods with, salads, baked chicken, fish. Some days, no fish or chicken at all. It could be just a salad with tuna or something in it, right? But it's a healthy meal. And on the 1 day, it's just strictly all water, nothing else, just water. So, and that's my lifestyle. On 1 day a week, I don't eat. And in fact, if I even try to eat 7 days per week, I feel like I've done something wrong, and I don't even crave wanting to eat. Now, the day that I don't eat, it's a Friday. So on Fridays, when I wake up, beginning at 8 o'clock in the morning, I eat nothing. I simply drink water throughout the entire day. I don't even snack on anything. Then on the following day, 24 hours from the time I started that that's Friday, then I will resume eating healthy meals. Do I eat 3 meals per day? No. I typically eat when I'm hungry, and I'm very conscious about the amounts of food that I put into my body because I'm conscious about my weight. You see, your gut is extremely important. Your gut, that is your stomach, is an incubator for germs. So if your gut is healthy, if it's clean, if it's flushed out, then viruses can't congregate as much, right? But I also practice something called H2O2 water therapy. What is that? Well, if you remember from science class, water is H2O or H2O1, meaning that the water atom has two hydrogen molecules, that's the H2, and one oxygen molecule, H2O or H2O1. Hydrogen peroxide. The hydrogen peroxide atom looks very similar to the water atom. Hydrogen peroxide has a scientific nomenclature of H2O2. That is, it has two hydrogen molecules and two oxygen molecules. So when you add hydrogen peroxide into your drinking water, what are you doing? You are introducing an extra oxygen molecule into your drinking water. So when you intake that, you're introducing an extra oxygen molecule into your bloodstream. Your bloodstream becomes highly oxygenated. It carries that highly oxygenated blood to your major organs, and viruses and disease cannot exist in those parts of your body that are highly oxygenated. In fact, disease and viruses fester and multiply, and that includes cancers as well, in those parts of your body that are oxygen depleted. Now, another reason why a lot of people are getting sick nowadays is because if they drink water from the tap, that water has to transverse through pipes from the water company. And by the time it comes out of your tap, it is no longer good. It has lost lots of its oxygen properties. That's why many people drink bottled water. The air that we breathe is not like it was, say, 100, 200, 300, 1,000 years ago, because we have pumped into the atmosphere pollutants from factories. So while there may appear to be clean and maybe smell clean, even areas of the earth where there aren't factories, for example, the air itself has lost many of its properties. So what we have to do is to introduce into our bodies extra oxygen molecules to become highly oxygenated. That's the key. These are things that contribute to building up your immune system. Now, what you see in front of you are, let me walk over and show you here. This right here is the best kept secret in the world. And I really mean that. This is hydrogen peroxide, 35% food grade. Now, let me show you something. You can go down to Walgreens or to CVS and you can buy this stuff right here. Hope you can see that. Let me make sure that you can see that. This is the, it's bringing out. This is the 3% hydrogen peroxide spray. This is not what you want. This is a disinfectant. Now, this is very effective in cleaning off surfaces. Let's say if you go to a store, given this coronavirus, and you can't find, say, Lysol, for example. This is very effective in cleaning surfaces, disinfecting surfaces. In fact, it's even better than Lysol. And this lasts a long time. So I keep a lot of this in the house to wipe down surfaces, doorknobs, and things like that. But this is not what you want to add to your water. You can even use this stuff here to brush your teeth. It's very good. Okay. This is what you want. It's very difficult to find. It's the hydrogen peroxide, but it is 35% food grade. Again, 35% food grade. This is important. You don't want to drink this directly from the carton. It looks like water, but it doesn't taste like water. If you get it on your skin, it will burn the skin, but it won't cause the flesh to peel. The flesh will turn a white color, but after about 15-20 minutes it goes away. That's just how it operates. Some people will take this right here and they'll dilute it in say water, and they'll soak their feet in it, and it's very effective in say if you got really bad feet, scaly feet. This really helps in restoring your foot health and killing foot fungus. But you don't want to overdo it with this. Okay, so you never take this directly. And I have to repeat that. Never drink this directly. But this is a best kept secret. You can't go down to CVS or Walmart or to a drugstore and find this stuff on the shelf. You just can't. I purchased this right here about a year and a half ago from Amazon.com. It cost me about, I think, $89. It's a gallon. And I have about half of it here. But it's, again, very difficult to find. So if you can find this stuff, get it. I think what they're selling on Amazon right now, they're selling what's called, I think 25% diluted, 35% food grade. In other words, they've already diluted it for you. This right here is undiluted. That's why I have these cobalt blue bottles. The best kept secret right here when it comes to H2O water therapy. And this is a good practice to cultivate. I'll leave a link in the description of this video that will take you to a book that you can purchase on Amazon.com. It's not expensive at all. I think you can get it off the Kindle, I believe, but you want to read that book. It's an incredible read. H2O2 Water Therapy is practiced in many lands. It has not caught on to in the United States here because we have the pharmaceutical industry standing in the way. You see, the pharmaceutical industry, as many of you know, I've spoken about this. They're not interested in cures. They're very slow anyway, but they're more interested in creating treatments because there's no money in cures. If they cured everything, then they'd go out of business. So the whole idea here is to trick you, to dupe you into buying their expensive drugs to keep you coming back. See, they're really drug pushers, to say that politely. They really are. Because what they do, they will create ailments so that they can create some treatment for it to keep you coming back. You've seen the many commercials on television that have these fancy names for these different drugs that are supposed to treat or relieve some ailment. They spend billions of dollars putting out those advertisements to keep you dependent and coming back. That's why this is not promoted and why it hasn't caught on in the United States. This is also not caught on in many lands, the poor lands, because people don't have access to 35% food grade hydrogen peroxide, and also they're not aware of this. Many Americans are not aware of 35% food grade hydrogen peroxide. But this is gold, folks, I'm telling you. Okay, so why the blue cobalt bottles? Well, if you look at this here, the way this works here is that what you do is you take the 35% hydrogen peroxide and you pour it into these bottles. And I have two of them here, and I fill them up. And I can see here, this is somewhat to the top here. And this other bottle over here, I've used a lot of that. You can see in there that there is a little bit in there. Let's see if I can bring this down where you can see it. There you go. See there? But it lasts a long time. Now with the blue cobalt bottles, they have this dropper. They have this dropper on there, and the dropper is very useful to add a certain amount of drops to your drinking water from when you make the mixture. And I'm going to demonstrate how I do this. The gloves here are for obvious reasons. It's to protect my hands when I pour this into the cobalt bottles. In fact, what I'll do here is, since this bottle right here is almost empty. I'll go and fill those one up here in front of you. So this is just for protection. The foam that you see right here, this is used. I should insert that into the bottle. I guess I suppose I should get a thinner one. I have one somewhere. I just couldn't find it. But that goes in here, and then I pour that through the foam, so I don't spill any of it. I also have here distilled water. Now it's your preference. I prefer distilled water when I create my daily regimen of 35% food grade water, and that's why I have these here. And what these are the ball I guess you can say quart-sized jars. I purchased these on Amazon.com. You can probably get them at a Walmart or something, but I like them because they have the measuring etched on the container. 1 cup is there, 2 cups is here. And what I do is I fill this up to the 2-cup level, and I add a certain number of drops per cup. And I usually will try to drink 3 cups per day, or sometimes I'll even do 4 cups per day. But it's important to get plenty of water into you that has the 35% food grade in it. And this is extremely important, people. I can't overemphasize the importance of H2O2 water therapy. Some folks are against it, especially a lot of your medical doctors here in the United States, because they would not have a practice if people stopped coming to them. You see, it's lucrative to be sick. And I really do believe that what's called the health community really is interested in, overall anyway, in health. They're interested in keeping you sick so you can keep them in business. Now, I have one of these jars. I have one of these because you can, when you buy these, they'll come with this metallic top right here. I don't use these here. I like the, as you can see on my ball jars, I have this the plastic cap here. They just make a better seal, and they're just easier to deal with than the metallic ones. So I purchased from Amazon a box of these here. In fact, several boxes. And these are the plastic caps which fit on those ball jars here. I think I paid probably $10 for these, and you get 8 of them. And I'll leave a link in the description of this video to where you can get these on Amazon, okay? And also I have just the regular bottled water that I drink. Just say if I'm out in public someplace, I'll pack a couple of these away and just sip water. I don't drink sodas, Kool-Aid, stuff like that. Milkshakes. The last milkshake I think I've had was probably a year ago. I just don't crave it. I crave water. My body now craves water. And that's going to happen to you as well once you get your body acclimated into drinking water. You're not going to want to drink sweetened sodas and things like that. You will want water, and it just tastes better. It's good for your system, and your body is telling you something. Feed me with water. Irrigate me with water. Okay, so that's why I'm showing you this here. Okay, so let me show you the process that I use to prepare a one-day regimen of my H2O2 water therapy practice here. And I do this every day. Now, I do have a lot of these right here, these ball jars. I could conceivably just create a whole week's worth and just have them sitting in my refrigerator, but I don't. I just do it every day. Okay, so let me show you how I do this. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do here is put on my gloves. And I'm also going to teach you how much of the 35% food grade hydrogen peroxide you should add to your water when you're first starting off. And the book that I will leave in the description of this video also discusses these things. I'll also leave a link in the description to an article that I wrote on one of my websites. It'll take you there, and you'll also find this video and a very good explanation of the things that I'm about to show you right now. So let me get my gloves on here. Okay. All right, my gloves are on. Let me roll my sleeves up here too, because I'm wearing a hoodie. All right. Okay. So, since this blue cobalt bottle, which I'll also show you, let me turn this microphone around so you can hear me. Okay. I'll also leave a description video where you can get these also. Everything that's in front of you, you can get it on Amazon.com very easily. Okay. But since this is already full, I'm going to go ahead and fill up the one that is almost empty. So, let me get this out of the way. I'm going to carefully open up my 35% food grade hydrogen peroxide and remove this. Let me squeeze out what's there. Let me set that to the side here and take my funnel, and yeah, it fits in there. Then I'm gonna pour some in. See there, it's clear. Okay, there it is. That's all I need to put in there. And put my funnel back here, get it out of the way, and securely place the cap back on here. And securely place the cap back on the 35% hydrogen peroxide. Here. Now you can store this in the freezer. You can store this in a cool place, but make sure you keep it out of the reach of children, because they may think that this is water. If you drink this directly, it will burn your insides. And if you take it incorrectly or mistakenly, then you want to drink plenty of water. It's going to be painful in the beginning, but you want to drink plenty of water to dilute it. The whole idea here is that you want to dilute. The purpose of this right here is to dilute this into your water. So once you get the cap on there securely, this places somewhere out of reach of children in a cool place, or again, you can even put it in the freezer. Okay, now let me go around over here and walk in front of the camera. And I won't need that. I won't need this either. I won't need this. I'll just need this right here. Okay, my distilled water and my two ball jars. So I'm going to fill up each of these jars up to the 2-cup level with my distilled water. Okay, let me turn this around so I can see it. 2 cups are about right here, right there. Let's do the first one. Okay, that's 2 cups. Two cups. And again, if you prefer to use, spring water instead of distilled water, that's fine. You'll be okay. I just prefer distilled water because there's nothing in it. All right. Now, here's the thing. If you're first starting off with H2O2 Water Therapy, there's a chart that's in the book, but it's also on my website. Again, look at the link in the description of this video and it'll take you to the article on the website. There's a chart or table that I've created, because what it does, it shows you how many drops per cup of 35% food grade hydrogen peroxide you add to your water. Okay, on the first day You want to add 3 drops per cup. Okay, 3 drops per cup. On the second day, 4 drops per cup. On the 5th day, 5 drops per cup. 6 days per cup, and you add an extra drop up to 23 days. And then once you get to 23 days, then you work yourself back up to the first day, where you were initially doing 3 drops per cup, and you stay there indefinitely. So you'll get to a point where you'll go through adding, say, 25 or so many drops per cup, and then you'll come back, you walk it back, 24 drops per cup, 23 drops per cup, and you get back up to the original day, and you'll stay there. 3 drops per cup indefinitely. That becomes your maintenance dose. There will be no need for you to add any more than 3 drops per day once you go there and back again. Again, please check the link in the description of this video. The article explains it perfectly, and so does the book. Explains it as well. So that I have 2 cups in each jar, I'm going to be adding 6 drops per jar. 3 drops as a cup, 3 drops. So 6 drops per cup. So, something else I should mention, you might want to get yourself a felt tip pen, and I know you can't see this, or some type of a sticker to put on here and label it 35% food grade hydrogen peroxide. So if anyone goes into your refrigerator, I keep this in my refrigerator. I live alone, and if I live with someone, they would know what this is and not to mess with it. To label it, okay? So go ahead and screw this, and I'm going to add 6 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this will be a first day. You're just starting out. Then I put on the caps, and just shake up a little bit. And that's it. That's my entire day's worth of water. If I crave more water, I'll just do the same thing. I'll just do another 2 more cups and add a number of drops of 35% food grade hydrogen peroxide. But it's very important that when you first start off that you follow that chart. It's pretty straightforward. Once you get up to, say, the 15th day, where you're probably adding about 15 or 16 drops per cup, then you're going to taste the hydrogen peroxide. It has a bleachy type taste, and I don't have a problem with it. I'm used to it. But if you have an issue with it, then get yourself some sugar-free gum and chew on that either while you're drinking it or after you drink it. It does help, but make sure that it's sugar-free gum, because you don't want, sugar is glucose, so you want the sugar-free gum and chew on that. Okay, so that's the H2O2 Water Therapy. The book in the description of the video goes in depth about the studies of H2O2 Water Therapy and the many ailments that it cures and has treated successfully. This is a scientific study, and I find it most curious as to why the medical community and the pharmaceutical industry in the United States don't talk about these I guess alternative, what they call alternative medicines, but I don't call them alternative medicines. These are natural things. They will tell you, even with this coronavirus, they weren't talking about things to eat to boost your immune system. They're talking about vaccines. And I find that that's incredible. See, beginning in kindergarten, we're not taught how to eat right. And even now, they still don't talk about eating right, because we live in a system where you go to a restaurant and you're being given unhealthy foods, and that's what's killing you. They're keeping people sick. When I say they or there, I'm talking about even the government, because they get money in taxes, and the food industry and the pharmaceutical industry, the healthcare industry. The money that they make is by keeping people sick. Sickness is very profitable. Please think about that. So you are your best line of defense in protecting yourself and keeping yourself healthy by eating right, the things that I've mentioned, and this right here, in my opinion, is the best kept secret that there is. And I don't believe they want this talked about. I do believe that they have agents who will go out there and they will, if I put this video up on YouTube, you'll have people who will comment, and these are agents who will say, don't do that. Well, what they're doing is they're protecting themselves. They're protecting their bottom line. They don't want you to know how to keep yourself healthy. This isn't going to kill you. It's not. It's just water. And you're adding a modest amount. We're talking drops of hydrogen peroxide, and this stuff isn't poison, because else it wouldn't be placed on the market to be sold. And I've been doing this for over a year and a half, going on 2 years, and I'm telling you, I feel great. I feel extremely healthy. My breathing is never labored. I don't remember the last time I've been sick. It's been years. I mean, literally many, many years, more than 10 years. I haven't been sick. So, water, people. Water. H2O, H2O2. Just add a little bit of that to your drinking water. Intake it. Exercise. Eat right. Get your immune system built up. If you're overweight, drop the weight. Drop the weight. Resist at all cost buying a Big Mac and supersizing it. Get off the fried foods, the sweets, the candies. There are so many great things you can eat that are natural. Mango. I buy those probiotic type smoothies. Let me show you what that looks like. I buy lots of these here, and I keep a freezer full of them. And what I do is, if I want a smoothie, these are far, far better than milk-based milkshakes. These are delicious, and the way I do mine, and these come in prepackaged packages. I get 5 8-ounce bags in each bag here. I'll buy about 10 of these, keep them in my freezer. I need to get some more because I go through these throughout the day. And in this one, I like the strawberry and watermelon blend. This has coconut in it. It also has pineapple, and it's delicious. You can also add your own fresh bananas in there if you want, or other fruits. You can buy frozen fruit, but this is probiotic. It's very good for your gut. Very good for your gut. And the way I prepare mine, I have a Ninja back there. You can't see it off the camera, but back over there, I have a Ninja, and I buy the coconut water in the quart containers, and I blend it with coconut water. You don't have to add ice or anything because these are already frozen, and they are so good. They look like this here. They are so delicious. So these are things that you want to be thinking about. If you get a sweet tooth, something else you can do, let me show you this as well. You can buy yourself some of this 80% or 90% pure dark chocolate. You probably will find it in the baking section at a grocery store, and just break off a piece of it and suck on that. It's very good, but dark chocolate is very, very good for you. It's high in it's a high level toxin, and it's good, but make sure that it's at least 80%. 90% is probably better if you can find it. Okay. This is good for you. And I'll leave a link in the description showing you where you can get that also on Amazon. Okay, so that's what I do every day. This is how I drink my water. The only exception is if I'm out in public, I'll take some of the bottled water out there with me. If I go to the gym, right now the gyms here are closed because of coronavirus. We are in a stay-at-home order here in Virginia, as are most states. But I guess I could conceivably take the caps off my bottled water and add, say, 3 drops of hydrogen peroxide in each bottle, and that'd be just fine. Okay, but it is important every day that when I do drink water, that I do have the 35% hydrogen peroxide, a measure of it added to each cup of water that I intake. Okay, so again, please check out the description of this video. Where I'll leave a link to an article that I wrote on the website, another website that I have. It's digicoins.com, which is a cryptocurrency website. I also delve in cryptocurrency investing and instruction and things like that, so you can check that out. Oh, and also I do run a 24-hour smooth jazz radio station at ripradio.com, WRP Rip Radio. I'm known as Ronnie J over there. And I'll also drop the article on the website as well. Why not? Okay, because it's all for the good, right? But these are things that you can do to boost your immune system and keep it in tip-top condition. Okay, so this is Muad'Dib, aka Ronnie J. Take care.